Well, more grim video games.
Uh-oh.
Torchlight 3 came out.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
No.
What do you have to do to that dog?
I have an alpaca.
Oh, no. What do you have to do to that alpaca?
I put items on it and I send it back to town
You monster.
like it was a filthy pack mule. I make it fight for me.
Oh,
Ooh.
it has a name, Jeff.
It did. Yeah, I pushed the random button and it seemed like every other name that came up on random was Clive. So I stuck with Clive.
There
That's
you
a good
go.
name for an alpaca.
That's pretty
It
good.
seemed like it. Yeah.
Is that just a Torchlight game?
Pretty much.
Because like
yeah,
the development history of it has been like, I think yet again they were like, all right, this time we're making the MMO version of Torchlight or something.
This is going to be a free-to-play game. Yeah,
Right.
no. So it hit early access over the weekend. It's like $30, I think.
$30.
And it's a Torchlight game. It opens with a more nautical kind of vibe to it, meaning there's
Okay.
a boat, but
Sea punk.
yeah,
Finally.
you get into port. I feel like, and you know what? Honestly, I've like somehow for some reason I don't remember a damn thing about Torchlight 2. I don't know what happened.
Me neither.
Like I played some of it, a fair amount of it. I don't remember loving it. I remember playing it going like, this seems fine, but like never got hooked on it. But I played a lot of Torchlight 1 and got into all these mods and all this other stuff. So, but even, that's been a long time too. Torchlight 3 has weird classes in it. Of the 4 classes they've got so far, the one I went with is like it's a potbelly stove, but it's a robot looking with like spider legs, and he's got a cannon in his chest.
Like Wild Wild West spider legs?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
This is sea punk.
It is. Yeah. That character specifically is pretty sea punk. But then like there's another class that's the Rail Master, and I have not tried him yet, but he apparently uses a hammer and a train follows him around.
Okay.
So
I like the sound of that.
yeah, it's like it's like it seems like they had some fun with ideas on some of the class stuff. But I went with the robot, and I don't think I love the class. But also the game itself seems a little. It seems like it's not there yet. I don't know.
It is early access.
Yeah,
right?
it is. It is, and so
This
people
was a stealth drop, right? It was kind of just like, hey, it's out on Steam right now.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, they'd obviously announced it and all that
Yeah.
stuff, but yeah, I think it kind of came out. They announced like, hey, this thing's out, and then it was out, and so the servers went down immediately after it came out. So there are all these super negative Steam reviews, but I feel like most of them are just people going like, I can't play it, but you can play it.
Is that why everybody's calling it a bummer, or is there more to it than that?
I think it's kind of flat, honestly. It's it's the structure of it almost reminded me of Guild Wars in a sense. Like it's like when you go to town, there's a bunch of players there, but when
Okay.
you get out into the world, it's instanced, or it seems instanced. And there's probably newer touchstones for that than Guild Wars 1, but
Hey, Destiny does that.
Destiny,
Like
but
most
you
games.
would encounter people out in the EDZ. You
Oh,
find
yeah,
people
sure,
out there
sure,
in Destiny.
sure.
That's not; those are public zones. And yeah, so I don't know. Like it's the skill trees seem a little underwhelming. It being and I wonder what they're going to do with mods. I don't know if they've said anything one way or the other, but it being this big online game, like, are people going to be able to create new classes in mods and do all this other stuff and still play it, or are they going to have some? Maybe they'll have an offline mode for that stuff. I don't know. Anyway, point being, it's an action RPG. You eventually can build out a fort, and so you can go back to your fort and put structures there that will be like, hey, here's your enchanting structure, and here's this different stuff. You can go back to town, obviously, also. I just found it really flat and really plain. In a world where Torchlight seemed like the game that came out because Blizzard wasn't making a Diablo and hadn't made one in a while, and Torchlight 1 came out, and you're like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
But there are so many games like that now for so many different types of players. People have done good free-to-play takes on it, good for-pay takes on it. Diablo 3 is still running seasons, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, so
Diablo 4 on the way.
yeah, the bar for an action RPG is a lot higher now than it was then, and I just it feels very empty in terms of options. Like the skill trees don't seem like they have a ton of variety on them. The robot I'm using has a chest cannon, basically, so like I can hit right mouse at any time and just start shooting, and it generates heat, and then so basically you get abilities that spend heat. So you build up enough heat to pop your ability that drops your heat down, so you can keep shooting, And then you also have a main weapon and shield and stuff too. So if you get people in close, but like, and then some of this stuff is like, you know, stuff you look at and go like, well, maybe this is because it's early access, but like the hit reactions when you're hitting people with a sword or a melee weapon or something are kind of non-existent. I feel like the any kind of signaling about, hey, you're about to die always comes like a second too late. There's like a voice that goes like, you're dying. But like, usually that's happening as I'm falling over dead. I'm like, oh,
You're like, I know.
yeah. You've got health potions that are consumable items. So you have to collect them and buy them or whatever else. But then there's a cooldown to use them. So you can't just pop them over and over again, but it's still a limited resource. So it seems like they want to have it both ways. It seems like they should just do away with them as a resource and just have it on a cooldown. It seems like a more natural way to go at this point, or a more friendly way to go. I don't know. It feels a little messy, I guess, around the edges. And for this style of game where now there are a lot of examples of people out there doing it right in different ways, it's harder to stay invested in something like Torchlight 3.
Like we saw a glimpse of that with Wolcen, which seemed to be like, okay, you know, it obviously had some problems and stuff, but it got kind of buried because like you said, there's Path, there's Diablo 3, there's tons of other games that are like really good examples of the genre right now.
Wolcen. I forgot. I played a few hours of Wolcen and completely forgot about it until you just said it. But,
all right, here is possibly, to my mind, the best barometer for Torchlight 3. Guacamole Party in the chat asks, this or Minecraft Dungeons?
Wow. You can get an alpaca in both.
It's true. You can. Yeah. I think Minecraft Dungeons is a different. It is not a full-on action RPG. It is very light. It is very short. It is. I finished it. I don't think Minecraft Dungeons is an especially good game. It's okay, but like it doesn't scratch the same itch because it doesn't have the same loot variety because it doesn't present itself the same way as like a true loot-based action RPG does.
Very simplified.
Yeah, very much so. And I think that like the idea of playing Minecraft Dungeons a second time after having finished it, like no, absolutely not.
Just play some regular Minecraft instead.
Now you're talking.
Okay.